Hello everyone, welcome to the session. For quick revision of fluid mechanics, we will continue with the properties of fluids. And in the previous session, we stopped here, which is non-Newtonian fluids. We have two different types of non-Newtonian fluids, which is time independent and the time dependent. And now in this session, we will see the viscosity variation for these two time independent and the time dependent non-Newtonian fluids on a graph between your shear stress and the shear strain rate. Here we have a rheological classification of fluids. First, what is rheological or rheology? And it is a study of flow of matter of liquids or soft solids, which is for example, after having some pressure on it, on a solid or yield stress, they will like to flow. That means the solids which will flow after some yield stress, those are the soft solids. We'll see that. So here rheology means, once again, it is a study of flow of matter like liquids and the soft solids. And coming to the classification, and these are different types of non-Newtonian fluids. And now if you see the graph here, we have the shear stress tau in the y direction and the shear strain rate that equals to du by dt or d pi by dt in the x direction. Now this x direction will gives you about ideal fluids. Okay, this line represents about ideal fluids, and in this the tau, which is the shear stress, is equals to 0. For the ideal fluids, your shear stress is 0. And coming to the y-axis, and these lines represent ideal solids. That means there won't be any shear strain rate. There is only shear stresses in the ideal fluids. And now the first one, which is we already seen, and those are Newtonian fluids, which obeys the Newton's law of viscosity, and these varies linearly. The viscosity varies linearly, and for this your flow index is equals to 1. And the examples for these Newtonian fluids is water, air, and the mercury. And the rest of all these are non-Newtonian fluids, and that too time independent. These are not time dependent, these are time independent. And next, first we'll see this dilatant fluid. Here you can see the curve. It is first flowing on the x-axis, and later its viscosity is goes on increases, right? The viscosity goes on increases. That means, see, the dilatant fluids, the flow index, which is the viscosity, or so n equals to flow index, that is greater than 1. That means these are the shear thickening fluids. We already seen the starch solution. When you have some starch in your water, and if you goes on stir that, it will goes on thicken, right? So it will goes on thick because of the shear. If the shear increases, the thickening increases, and those fluids are dilatant fluids where your flow index is greater than 1. And best example is starch solution. And coming to the pseudoplastics, these are here, these lines represent your pseudoplastics, and moreover your viscosity goes on getting, first it is increasing and later it is getting decreases. So these are the pseudoplastics. Here it will happens like a shear thinning. That means if the shear is increasing, the shear rate or shear stress goes on increases, the fluids will thins, just like your paint. First in the bottle it will look like a thick one, but when you shear on a wall, okay, shear on a wall, it will become as thin layer on your wall, right? And your blood also, your blood will looks like a thicker one in a bottles, but it will flow. When it is flowing, there will be a shear, and because of that increase in shear, it will turns to a thin layer or thin fluids. So here your flow index is less than 1. And next, coming to this line represents your plastic fluids. First, these plastics are linear, okay, just like your Newtonian fluids, but later it again decreases its viscosity, and these are plastic fluids. And the next we're seeing in the previous that about Bingham plastics and the Hershey-Buckley fluids, the equation of it. What is that equation? Which is like tau is equals to tau y, which is yield shear stress, plus your power law, which is like m into du by dy, du, which is velocity gradient or strain rate, to the power of n. See, all these fluids like dilatant pseudoplastics follow only this formula. That means your power law formula. They won't go with this tau y, which is a shear yield stress. But for the Bingham plastics and the Herschel-Buckley fluids, it will follow this equation with respect to your yield stress. That means these Bingham plastics and the Herschel-Buckley fluids will flow. Fluids will flow after some yield stress, just like your toothpaste. After having some pressure on it, if you press that, they will flow like a fluid. But if there is no pressure on it, or if there is no stress on it, they won't flow. They will look like a solid one, right? But after some yield stress, they will flow like a toothpaste, right? Even ink also, just like your toothpaste, first it will look like a thick one, but later it flows when you're writing on your paper, right? First we'll see about Bingham plastics, and these plastics follow same this equation, but here one thing, it is a linear one, right? After yield stress, it's following a linear one. So your equation will turns to m equals to mu, n equals to 1. Okay, and that means for the linear, this is similar to or parallel to your Newtonian fluid, right? But this is happening after your yield stress. What is your formula for Newtonian fluids? It is mu into du by dy. Yes, it's just same like this, mu into du divided by dy, right? In the same way it follows, but after the yield stress, so it should have some yield shear stress. And coming to the Herschel-Buckley, the best example for this Bingham plastics is toothpaste. But coming to Herschel-Buckley fluids, these are non-linear, okay, and non-linear, and these are not following like Newtonian fluids. These are following like a non-Newtonian fluids. For non-Newtonian fluids, your formula is m into du by dy to the power of n, and this is your non-Newtonian fluids. But we have some yield stress, right? So if you plus add that yield stress, then it will become the total stress for your Herschel-Buckley fluids. Clear? So once again, you can see here, and when it is going linear, it is non-Newtonians. If it is n is greater than 1, dilatant, n is less than 1, pseudoplastics. And if it is linear after the yield stress, those are Bingham plastics. And if it is non-linear after the yield stress, those are Herschel-Buckley fluids. Okay. And moreover, and these are the time independent non-Newtonian fluids. Now we'll see a time dependent non-Newtonian fluids. These are the time dependent. Okay. Here you can see the graph. It is between your apparent viscosity, mu a, it is apparent or effective viscosity, and the x-axis is time. Here what is constant? Here the constant is shear stress or shear strain rate. Okay, this is constant, and you can see here these are the time independent. Okay, non-Newton, dilatant, the pseudo, Bingham plastics, it won't depends on the time, so that's why these are linear. But coming to the time dependent fluids, we have two time dependent fluids. Those are thesiotropic and the rheopectic. And the first one, thesiotropic, here you can see the apparent viscosity is goes on reducing as the time increases, right? So the example for these thesiotropic fluids is nail polish. Okay, so you can see the apparent viscosity is goes on reducing with respect to the time. Here nail polish, first it looked like a thicker one, but after applying on your nails, okay, it will make like a thinner one, right? It will thins, and moreover it will become as a less viscous fluid. And coming to the rheopectic, and these are in this, your apparent viscosity is goes on increases with the time. And best example for this is gypsum. Okay, gypsum, what happens? First it is thin, it is look like a powder and some water, so it look like a thing. As goes on your shear, it will, if the shear increases, what happens? It will become as a thicker one, right? So the gypsums will become thicker. Because of that, your apparent viscosity goes on increases, and these are rheopectics. Once again, physiotropic and the rheopectics are the time dependent fluids. As the times goes on, I mean, just like what happens to the gypsum? As the time goes on, if you kept somewhere, just like your cement, when you kept somewhere, if the time goes on, it will become like a solid rock, right? And even for the nail polish, if the time goes on, what happens from the liquid state to solid state, it will stick to your nails, right? So like that, these two will depend on the time. And but coming to this thesiotropics, the apparent viscosity will decreases, but coming to the gypsums or rheopectic fluids, the apparent viscosity will goes on increases with respect to your time. We will continue in the next session. Thank you.